Hello, everyone, and welcome again to K Podcast. You know, today we are going to be talking about this topic. First of all, we're going to talk about the strength and why I titled this, you know, video with the thumbnail Black Women Need to Know Their Place. But I'm definitely going to change that later on to something better. But this is the thing. I've been seeing a lot of Black women activists and fighting for everybody all the time, but nobody fights for any Black woman. A lot of people will even, you know, join sides with the other side just to, you know, talk bad about Black women, just to take opportunities, especially from Black women. And I can't even begin to tell you because one time I remember there was a time that JLo was talking about the Black community is getting all the funding and all of that. And I'm like, okay. And this is another thing. I'm not somebody that likes to create division. I don't create division in my channel, but I'm somebody that I don't fight for you if you don't fight for me. I'm this kind of person that I expect that if I give to you, you give to me. And if you don't give to me, I am going to stop giving. I'm just going to go mind my business. I am just going to go find a place to sit down and relax. I'm going to go find a place to sit down and relax. And that is it. Now, I'm gonna show you guys this particular video before I'm gonna go to the other video, and then we're gonna talk about this whole situation. First of all, I think Dior or something had this is it Mexican or Native American um fashion show, and of course, as you know, nobody spoke up, but an African American woman, of course, had to come up and fight and talk about, oh, why couldn't you use a, because they used, I can't remember who they said they used for the face, because they said they used Native American writers, designer, all of that, but the face of the campaign was not. And she decided she was gonna be the one that was gonna go over there and fight and talk about this. And then this particular content creator over here actually talked about it, stitched that video, and I'm like, see, I understand that you get praise for fighting for everybody, but this is the thing. It looks like you don't expect anything back, and that's why a lot of people do treat a lot of African American women the way they treat them, and by not reciprocating, by not giving back, by not standing, by not fighting with you, and you are made always to be masculine and never giving the part to be feminine, and to be, to have that feminine energy. And anytime they need you, anytime somebody talks about you, it's always about your it's always about the masculine traits. And this is also something, because I also notice some Africans when they come over here, not all, by the way, some, when they come to the US, and the women, some of them want to become social justice warrior. And I'm like, you didn't have that energy when you were back home. You didn't have that energy when you were back home. So what makes it different? Why is it that here you want to do it, but back home you're not doing it? But at the same time, I'm like, what is happening? At the same time, I'm like, I prefer to be in my femininity, unless you come to me as an ally and say, you know what, when I give this to you, you give back this to me. I'm like, nah. Without that agreement of us having each other's back, I'm not doing it. Like, look at the Little Mermaid. I'm gonna give you an example. With Halle Bailey, the time she became the Little Mermaid, there were a lot of people from every other ethnicity that were talking bad about her. And these are the ethnicity that a lot of Americans, where especially when anything happens to them or anything, they always, African Americans are always there to fight with them and all of that. But when it comes to, when that Halle Bailey thing came out, I was like, well, like, we did already know. And it was crazy because there were a lot of people in there. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna be pulling up this first video over here, and I'm gonna be giving you guys my commentary. But at the same time, I'm gonna say this. Let me know what you think in the comment section of this video. So I'm just gonna play this one first.
About the backlash that Dior received. no Mexican women that they could use to celebrate Mexican culture.
I'm not saying that is.
Go watch the rest of that video for context. Basically, to sum it up really quick, they're talking about the backlash that Dior received for having a clothing line that is Mexican inspired by Mexican culture and Mexican artists and Mexican photographers. But Jennifer Lawrence is the face of Dior, so they put her on the cover in these clothing. And they're talking about, like, why are they receiving backlash? What's the big deal? The thing about me is I'm always going to love a Black woman from infinity to fucking infinity. You want to know why? Because Black women are always going to be the ones to advocate for people and groups that they aren't even a part of.
And there's the problem. Black women will advocate for groups and culture that they are not even part of. But when Black women need the same energy from every other group, do they get it? Do they get it though? Because I've seen this time without number, and in my heart, it breaks my heart that we have women that will fight for everybody else but themselves. And they will fight for everybody else just for everybody else to use them for the fighting and for everybody else to use them for their own agenda. But whenever it is time to actually reciprocate, give back, they don't. Instead, they will talk bad about them and tell them, oh, you know what, I deserve this. But they would even take places from these women. They will even try to take places from these women. So when it comes to this fighting thing, I'm like, hey, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I'm not fighting for nobody that's not gonna fight for me. I'm gonna sit down in my house, pick up a beer and drink. I am not all about that fighting for nobody. I don't fight for anybody apart from myself or for somebody that comes to me and be like, you know what? I want us to be allies. I do this for you, you do this for me. But this is the thing. Black women have been fighting for everybody but not getting anything back. So what is that? I don't get it. And that woman that was talking about the Dior topic, I don't think she should have been talking about it in the first place. She should have just keep her mouth closed and mind her business. I think it's about time a lot of women start understanding, especially Black women, start understanding not everything, you don't have to fight for everything, especially when it doesn't include you. It is absolutely annoying.
You want to know why? Because they know what it's like to be completely disregarded, ignored, stolen from, completely disrespected. And they're going to use their voice. I'm not going to sit here and be quiet. I'm going to stand up for what's right, and I'm going to advocate for these people. And I think the most frustrating part about this is the fact that there are going to be Mexican people of this culture who see this and be like, I don't have a problem with it. We should just be happy.
And yes, there are actually people that saw it and be like they didn't have a problem with it. And that's why I don't understand why some African American women have to put themselves in the masculine front. It's somebody's problem. You see them in front street fighting for everybody else's problem, but they still got problem going back home, and nobody cares. In fact, everybody's trying to trample around on them just to get opportunities.
That we are being given this opportunity, that our culture is being displayed in this way, that there are people of our Mexican people who are being given opportunities. Y'all are accepting these bullshit breadcrumbs. Another example that comes to mind of a Black woman who advocated for Mexican people specifically is Patricia Okumu. Patricia is the Black woman who climbed the Statue of Liberty in protest of Trump's order to be separating families at the Mexican border in 2018. Patricia really said no kids in cages and went to jail about it. And as a once undocumented immigrant from the Republic of Congo to now being a naturalized citizen, she chose to spend her 4th of July protesting, putting her life on the line for the children being put in cages in 2018 at the U.S.-Mexican border. And as a
Oh God. See, I love what she did. I love what the woman was protesting for. I am not against none of that, but I'm just looking at this as, what are the black women getting in return for all of this fighting that they are doing? What are they getting in return? All right.
Non-black woman, it is mind-blowing to me that a group of people who there are laws in place to prevent you from wearing your hair a certain way at school and at your place of employment to
And there it is. So we all know that there is a problem. We all know that black women are restricted from wearing their hair, their natural hair. And black women are out here fighting, making statements, really fighting in front street for everybody. But nobody want to talk about the hair though. I mean, she didn't mention it. I give her crumbs for mentioning it. But what are we gonna do about the hair? Nobody wanna come together. Nobody wanna come together and solve the hair problem. I mean, it's something that grows from their scalp. It's something that grows from our scalp. Is natural. You cannot change it, but nobody comes out to, let's go over there and try to come together and fight for them to get their, just be a basic human being with their hair out. See, this is the thing I'll be telling some people. I'll be like, you be out here fighting for everybody thinking they don't know your problem. But they actually do know your problem. They just don't care. They actually do know your problem. They just don't think it really matters that much. But every time you go there, every time they got a problem, they want you to come over and help them out with something. Okay, let's continue.
constantly being targeted by law enforcement. You're still having to deal with legal segregation in 2023 to keep families impoverished. Simply existing is an act of resistance, but then choosing to go out of your way to advocate for a group that you are not even a part of or you do not benefit from being a part of, like, come on. We shouldn't expect advocacy from Black women, but to say that they haven't is a lie.
Okay, people, that was the first video I brought in here. Now we're gonna bring up this lady over here. Yeah, she was calling out all the people that voted for Ron. You remember the lady that Ron DeSantis was running against, the black woman that lost the game that everybody was celebrating about? Yeah, I still haven't forgotten her. So this little woman over here is gonna, tell us about all these things that have been happening in Florida, because I've been seeing it in my TikTok. A lot of people, talking about it in TikTok, how the, minorities are leaving Florida. They're packing up and they're leaving, and I'm like, well, I've been knowing this stuff, but I wanted to make a video, but I didn't want to make a video yet until I saw her video, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna talk about it. I've been seeing this. A lot of people are like, oh my god, it's gonna fall down, oh my god. And this is the thing they forget. Many of these people voted for Ron DeSantis. Let's call it out. Many of them, they didn't vote for the woman, the black woman that was there. They voted for Ron DeSantis. And now we's about to cry wolf and call everybody, let's stand together. It's giving me the time that black women were crying the same thing and white women said not my problem, and now they got their own problems. Yeah, I mean, this is America, it's the US. You're thinking you're gonna get a one-up on your other colleague, and then you find out your boss is just gonna treat you the same way, or literally give you the same treatment. So I'm gonna bring this lovely lady over here so that she can talk about this, because I think it's better off from her mouth, because she actually absolutely spoke her truth. Because every time I went to TikTok and I saw that, oh, people are living in Florida, oh, this, we should come together. I'm like, this is who you voted for. You voted for this. Why are you running? You're complaining about a problem you created. You created this problem. Oh, excuse me. Okay, you thought it was gonna be different. You thought he was gonna treat you different. You thought that everybody else was gonna be treated badly, but you were special. And he turned around and showed you what happened. So let's bring this lady up. This is my last video for this. I don't know if I'm coming back. Normally I say I don't know if I'm coming back, and I never come back. I don't know. But maybe I'm coming back later because there is a lot of things I want to talk about. Later on, there are a lot of videos that I've had lined up, and I have not even touched on them yet. So let's go on this one.
Need to come together. So, you know what I find amazing? All of these people saying, oh, we all need to come together to fight the shit that's going on in Florida. Well, you know what this sounds to me like? It sounds the same call for when 70% of white women voted for Trump. And now because they're dying in the parking lot because the states won't give them an abortion when they're almost at death's door. Does it sound familiar? Same thing with the Hispanics in Florida. 68% of the Cubans voted for this shit. 63% of the Puerto Ricans. 58% of the Venezuelans. Little did they know that all of these laws are going to affect them in some way with some family member who is undocumented. But it is always these people who ignore everybody else's rights. Start on TikTok. Let's come together.
I'm just gonna say this. When I hear people that create problems and then they come out and be like, let's come together, it's giving me when before Roe v. Wade was overturned, Black women were screaming, talking, literally trying to let everybody know. You know what all the other women said? Oh, it's just only gonna affect them. It's gonna affect them. I mean, it's not my problem. I got privilege. He got privilege. They ain't gonna do it. He got privilege. So after that, when Roe v. Wade was overturned, now they understand they ain't got privilege. In fact, this ish is gonna affect everybody, especially them ones that be going in the back. They be waking up. Like what I heard from the stories was some of them would go very early in the morning so that nobody can see them. Some of them that were going through the back door so that nobody can see them, so that they can protect their image. They started noticing, hey, there is no back door to go into anymore. There is no back door like this. The whole thing is closed down, shut down. And then we had a lot of people on TikTok crying, oh my God, I can't believe they did this. They overturned it. I'm like, okay, I thought you said it was only going to affect Black women. And then I had some people coming over, but this is going to mostly affect, the minorities, especially the Black community. I'm like, close your mouth. It's going to affect you the most. And you're trying to use Black women as cover up for Front Street. It's going to affect you the most. Let's call it out. Because this is another thing that I don't understand. How can you still say a lot of most Black women are baby mamas, and this at the same time you're talking about they're the ones going to get a treatment like that? How can you be the most baby mamas and then be the ones getting the treatment the most? It makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. Now, we're going to continue with this, topic over here. Let me just play this.
You should have thought of the coming together before these radical Republicans passed all of these fucking laws. Because let me just tell you, as the white side of Obama, because my father was Black, white people don't give a shit about any other race. When they're done with the trans, when they're done with the homosexuals, when they're done with the marginalized, they'll come after you. This is how they have always operated. So a call to come together after you allowed that orange piece of shit to become president of the United States is not a call that many people are going to answer, because you're all hypocrites.
Well, so that was it for this particular video over here. I'm gonna ask you guys to leave your commentary, on the comment section. Tell me what you think about this whole video. Yes, I understand that this video is it is for educational purposes. This video today is to educate people, and that's the thing. Is to educate people and to also bring awareness to a lot of people, especially everybody. Now, so that we can treat each other better with respect. And what somebody gives you, you should also give back. You understand? It shouldn't be the other person always giving. It should be both sides giving to each other. Now, with that being said, I'm going to say this. Do not forget to press the like button, subscribe. And also, I wanted to announce to you guys, I'll be going to Kick. I might be having a channel in Kick soon, because I don't feel like YouTube is doing me good. I really don't. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna definitely put my Kick link somewhere in my YouTube account so that you guys can go to Kick over there. Because at first I wanted to go to Twitch, but I'm like, you know what? Since Kick is paying much more, probably I'm gonna be moving to Kick. And that's that. So have a great day, people. Don't forget to press that like button, subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one. Thank you for being here. Have a great day and goodbye.